there it is, the Chevy Sonic, and there's still Christmas lights up. I need to take those down. Dang, cars keep breaking down. We're gonna do a serpentine belt in the Chevy Sonic. That's what we're gonna do. You can do this. Piece of cake. Anyway, there it is. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is take off the air intake here. And then I'm going to remove this, which is pretty easy. You got 2 torque screws. Remove the mass airflow sensor there. Yeah, at least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway, and next we take out the air intake. Removing that. Keeping my bolts over here. Of course, I removed that screw. Unscrew this. So yes, just 2 screws. This puppy comes out. Try to get it out of the way. And here's the fun part. And I don't just mean that because it's difficult. I mean it because it's fun. There's that. And that. And this. So air intake, see that right there? And these little holes, look, there's no bolts, which is beautiful. I don't know if there's supposed to be a bolt there, but there isn't. This is awesome. See that? This whole thing just comes right out. Boom. Piece of cake. Just like that. So next, I'm gonna remove this hose, get that out of the way. I should just probably remove this hose as well. And water pump is right there behind the motor mounts, which is awesome, right? So yes, necessary. So yes, I've got the engine on a jack. If you're going to change the serpentine belt, you're going to want to support the engine because you have to remove the motor mounts. All right, gonna have to remove these bolts, it looks like. Here we go. All right, and after those bolts are removed, it just comes right out of there, just like that. And then we remove that one. That one comes out now. For that, I'm using the 15mm box wrench because I don't have a socket. I guess I could use a socket. I don't know. And it's probably easier to remove that one first because that one's easier to get to. So hardest to get to is the one that'll give you trouble. So do that one first. So got that one out, and now it's on to that one. So yes, there's one more bolt down there. You can see it. It's underneath at the point, and 15mm. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get her done. All right. So now we've got this thing loose. So yes, now in the Seattle rain, we put on the serpentine belt on the Chevy Sonic. Are you ready? I know I am. New tensioner on right here. It's shiny, new, black, nice. All you do to pull this tensioner back is you pull, you can see that down there. You pull towards the vehicle and that tension comes back. See that? Like that. All right, so now I realize my camera angles may be off, but I'm gonna try this. Laying it on the top of the engine, face down. Let's try that. So, again, putting this on there. I've got it all up and around. Pulling this back. And there she goes. See that? That's so simple. Let's see what kind of mess over here. Alright, now try it again. Like that. Oh, there we go. That's better. That is much better. Let's see. Yep. Nice. Belt is on. And we are off to all right, now it's a good idea to leave these 2 bolts in as you try and put this thing into place. Yeah. So, here we go. It's just like that. Line it all up. Alright, and then back to cinching these puppies down with a 15mm. But before I do that, check it out. Upside down. Doesn't get more Seattle than that, right? It's brought me a latte. Father-in-law. It's awesome. This job just keeps getting more Seattle every minute with the rain and the weather and the latte. It's good. So yes, for those of you who are keeping score at home, 15mm is 5/8. Also, pretty close anyway. So now this bottom bolt here is the one I'm after. And it looks like I'm going to have to, because I couldn't get my stubby socket in there, I'm going to have to tighten that down with a wrench. A 5/8 wrench or a 15mm wrench. Whatever one's handy. Thanks for playing. That'll go there. Next operation, next step in this thing. Let's keep that dry. Not that get dirty. Is to lower the engine in order to put the motor mounts in. This thing's sky high right now. Lowering the engine. There we go. Something like that. Let's try that. And you can kind of move it with your hand a little bit to line the bolts up, which is going to be fun. Or use a pry bar. Oh. But yeah, once you get it lined up, that's the deal. That's the hizzy. So again, not the best camera angle for this, but you can see how the engine moves around. I've got these bolts threaded. Before I thread these, I haven't put a nut or a bolt in that one yet. So I'm kind of waiting to get this centered. Just those 2 bolts sticking up. Keep it centered. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be threaded. So get this sucker all together. And then we want to get a bolt. This shorter bolt without the washer. See that? That goes over here. It goes over there, right there, like that. So now I've taken the jack and lowered the engine all the way after I got these bolts cinched down just a little. They're not tight yet, but once I let off on the jack, that hole lined up, and I can put this bolt right back in. See that? Piece of cake. That puts those 2 nuts on. You're good to go. Put the air cleaner back in. Yeah. All right, so now when I'm putting this thing back in, I like to start there. See that down there? Right there. You put that in there. In the male, female to male thing, and then you scoot those in. After that's in the boot, that little boot thing, then you scoot those in there. Try that. Right, now I've put all this back together, and I just got to cinch up with a screwdriver the hose clamps. I'm drying off because it's so wet out here. I'm drying off the sensor, which I probably should have just removed from right there. And hopefully the sensor isn't damaged from the wet. But it does get wet, so putting that and back. Got the air intake all put back together. And guess what? Achievement unlocked, right? All right, so welcome to my basement. Rate and share. I don't know. If you want to, all your friends who have Chevy Sonics that need a Serpentine belt, you can share with them because it's a thing. It's going on everywhere. That's it, man. Disassemble, reassemble. You saw me put it together, not necessarily take it apart, but hopefully that helps. Later.